No, thank you.
What does Premier League mean to you?
So the Premier League is our big show. You know, it's where we go around the UK and now in Europe as well, and play to big sellout crowds. It's the elite players, the best players in the world, putting on an action-packed show, and it means a lot to us because it enables us to get our product out to people in different areas. You don't generally have to travel too far to go to the Premier League if you're in the UK, Ireland, and now the Netherlands. So it means a lot to us in terms of reaching new people.
And what does it mean to you specifically then? Not general BC, but
to me personally, I enjoy the atmosphere. You know, I think you get the hair standing up on the back of your neck when you see 10,000 people filling an arena, shouting and cheering. You see the costumes, the fancy dresses. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable.
Also on television.
Yeah.
What is your part in the Premier League?
Well, obviously we're the promoters and as the chief exec. So my first job, which I'm already doing now for next year and 2018, is to finalise all the dates and the venues so we know where we're going and when we're going.
Yeah.
Then we work with Sky, we work with our sponsors to put early plans in place for getting tickets on sale and for how we're going to activate sponsorships, how we're going to maximise the number of people who watch on TV. We try and sell it to different TV companies from around the world. And then once the tickets are on sale, we put our marketing in place, and fortunately the tickets generally sell pretty well, so that's good. Then it comes to the really exciting part, which is picking the players. And obviously some players pick themselves by virtue of their rankings and their past achievements. Every year we try and mix it up a little bit, get 2 or 3 new players in to try and add a different dimension, and that's the bit that people always talk about. Who's going to be in the Premier League? Will he keep his place? Will somebody else come through?
Yeah, true.
You know, and then when you start, well, it's 16 weeks on the road, so that's the challenging bit really, just motorway, flight all the time, you know.
Continue non-stop.
Yeah, non-stop. Yeah.
And is it living up to your expectations so far?
Yeah, I mean, look, the Premier League's a mature product now. It's 10 years old, so it's grown and grown from small leisure centres and town halls to massive arenas.
Yeah.
You know, and the demand now, it's on TV everywhere around the world. I think in 5 continents. So yeah, the Premier League has certainly lived up and surpassed our expectations.
Are there more new venues to be added in the next Premier Leagues? Or?
Yeah, there will be. You know, we have to manage it carefully and we'll take our time. We don't want to rush anything. We don't want to make a mistake. We don't want to risk ruining something that's a very good product. So we will go somewhere when the time is right to a new country, whether that's Germany, Belgium, wherever we go to with the Premier League. We'll only do so when the time is right. We could have come to Holland maybe 3 years ago, you know, but we had to make sure the time was right, and we proved that by selling the whole Ahoy Rotterdam in 43 minutes, 10,000 tickets, that the time was right.
Yeah, you know? It was. But I think 3 years earlier you would have had the same result.
Maybe. But with the way it's a commercial product, so we have to be sure of our decisions.
Well, how do you how do you know that then now is the right time?
Well, you get a sense. I mean, look, we've seen a lot more Dutch participation on the tour, so there's obviously more Dutch players coming through now. We're getting increased TV audiences in the Netherlands and huge amounts of media interest. So sometimes if you leave people wanting a little bit more, then they're more eager for it. You know, if you just give it to them straight away, then they take it for granted a little bit. But people have been saying to us, come to the Netherlands, where are we going to go? And then our friends here at the Ahoy were really enthusiastic, and we've worked with them before at Matchroom, which is the PDC's parent company, on the Mosconi Cup 9 ball. So we knew that they could stage an event for us, and the time was right for 2016.
Okay. How are the draws being made for Premier League?
The fixtures are decided. Essentially, the fixtures don't generally matter. It's more to do with the order of play on each night. Obviously, every player has to play each other twice. You know, so like tomorrow night, Phil will play Michael to decide who wins the league. But that's just a coincidence. You know, when that fixture was made, well, it is, yeah, because when that fixture was made, you know, there was still 16 points for players to play for, and you're not to know. Gary could have been at the top of the table, or Adrian, or whatever. You know, so sometimes we look at things to make sure that if a player's in his home country, if it's not in England, then he only plays. And the other players play fairly. Do you know what I mean? So you don't always play. It wouldn't be fair if the same player played Gary in Glasgow every time, you know, or if the same player played Michael in the Netherlands every time, you know. So we have to make sure that sort of thing is fair. But other than that, the fixtures are devised by us, then they're sent to Sky, and then Sky approve them. They might say, we'd rather this game was first, this game was third, we change the order around, and then we announce it.
Okay.
And obviously on nights like relegation or elimination night, judgment night, and tomorrow night here, we put the fixtures that are the most exciting towards the end. So the games that matter for relegation or that matter for winning the title. You wouldn't put Phil v Michael first for TV or for the crowd. Then it's exactly.
Numbers are up.
Yes.
I get it. What do you expect from the coming night?
I expect to see a Premier League night like all the others, to be frank. I expect to see a great atmosphere. I expect to see 10,000 people having a great time. It's going to be unique because it'll be the first time we've been to the Netherlands. Yeah. But it won't be unique in so much as there'll be a great atmosphere. You know, I expect the atmosphere to be fantastic, but then I expect it to be fantastic every week. You know, so I appreciate that everybody's totally excited about it, and we are as well. This is the biggest buzz we've had about a Premier League night since we went to Dublin for the first time. Okay. So everything's moving on with that, but essentially the product is still the same.
True. Do you have a match that you are really looking forward to?
Well, yeah, of course. I want to see Phil v Michael. You know, I want to see Michael in front of his home crowd. Phil's on good form. I want to see who wins the title.
Do you have a favourite, or are you not allowed to?
Yeah, I've got favourites.
But you're gonna tell?
All of them.
No, it can't be.
No. Listen, we're with these guys all the time. They're all good guys. You know, some win more, some lose more, some are on good form, some are on bad form. But essentially, as people, they're all good guys.
Yeah. So you're not allowed to say, well, I think that, I don't know, Phil is going to win the Premier League.
No, we wouldn't. No, the staff wouldn't predict results. That's not fair.
What does the future for the Premier League look like?
Well, you know, we'll continue developing the product. Maybe we'll have a look at the format in future years and see if that can be modified slightly just to keep it fresh. Obviously,
what kind of way are you thinking then?
Well, you'll have to wait and see. But you know, we'll have a look at different things. No. You see, that's what I said before. We have to keep people wanting more. If I tell you now, then it's boring.
You don't have to tell everything. You can just tell some little thing.
I've said to you a little thing. We might change the format, you know, but we'll see how that goes. Obviously, we change a couple of players every year. We might go to new countries. The Premier League's not going anywhere. It'll still be here in 10 years' time, so there's no rush.
True. But is it also a plan to reach for players outside the top 10, or is Premier League definitely only for?
No. We've had players from outside the top 10 before, and it's not a problem. You know, Stephen Bunting was in it after a fantastic first year in the PDC. We've had other players in the past who've been in there. Players have to earn their spot in the Premier League. They have to earn that through achievement, through personality, through their overall contribution to darts, you know?
Yeah, okay, but where do you look at then? Is it also that you look at Pro Tour, Euro Tour, or is it?
Yeah, we do, but essentially players have to be able to deliver on the big stage. That's what it's all about. You know, you can be fantastic in the Pro Tour, but you have to translate that onto the big stage because it's a totally different product.
Yeah, okay, but you can't get there if you don't perform. Yeah, I don't know how to say that.
I know what you mean.
It's difficult for those players to get on the real stage. Real stage sounds
it's difficult. Wrong, it's difficult, but it has to be difficult because to be the best in the world, it can't be easy.
No, that's not what I. No, I didn't mean that at all. Sorry. No. But it's more like, is it because now it's most of the time Van Gerwen, Taylor, Barneveld, and I'm not saying it's getting bored. That's the wrong word, but it's always the same players you see on television and on new tournaments. You're going out to what was it? A new
to Cardiff for the Champions League.
Yeah, also Gibraltar.
Well, that was the European Tour.
What's the new one that's set up last time? Not so long ago.
The Masters, the Champions League, World Series finals.
Stupid.
It's okay.
There's also a new one, and there's also again Michael van Gerwen.
But they're the best players in the world. If you go to watch tennis, you go and watch Rafael Nadal, Andy Murray, Roger Federer, Stanislav Wawrinka. You won't go and watch the world number 125 because nobody cares.
No.
And that's the point. The world number 125 has to try to become the world number one.
Yeah,
and that's the reward that he gets. You don't just give people. It's not a charity.
No.
You know. So people have to earn the right to be at the top of their sport. And when they do that, we provide so many opportunities. The Pro Tour has got over 40 events in it in the year for players to play. There's a Q school every year, so people every year can get the chance to go and be a professional player. Then they get 40 opportunities a year. And I think we have 16 televised tournaments now. If you take the World Series out of that, there's still 11 major televised tournaments. You know, so there's no doors being closed to players, only being opened, and the only barrier for them is their ability. If they're not good enough, sorry, but you're just not good enough. You have to, you just have to keep practicing and get better. Michael and Phil didn't wake up one morning and be world number one. They practiced.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because you don't get the story behind it. You always see.
But you do in other tournaments. The World Championship, you get plenty of stories of people coming through. The Players' Championship this year has been expanded to 64 players. The last event before the World Championship, the UK Open, anybody can qualify for. You can go and qualify for the UK Open. So there's plenty of doors open.
Yeah. Okay, true. Sorry, it wasn't the.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Well, I'm through.
Okay.
That's everything. So.
Good.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Really
Enjoyed it.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you.
It's a simple question, but can I maybe have your cup?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Not that I.